Beep! 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 The insistent alarm clock screamed at Sabir. He blindly swatted at it. Silence. He burrowed deeper under the covers. Peace at last. But not for long. The alarm clock had other plans. Beep! Beep! Beep!
Okay, I'm up, Sabir mumbled. He knew better than to ignore it again. Mornings were always a battle. His bed was like a warm, cozy cave, and the outside world seemed miles away. Sunlight peeked through the curtains. Birds chirped cheerfully outside. Sabir groaned. Why did mornings have to be so cheerful? He threw the covers off and stumbled out of bed. Another day at varsity awaited. He wasn't exactly thrilled.
Downstairs, Sabir's mom was already in full swing. She believed in starting the day with energy, a stark contrast to her son's morning mood. She flitted around the kitchen, making breakfast and singing along to the radio.
Good morning, sleepyhead, she chirped as Sabir shuffled in.
He grunted a response, his eyes barely open. He stumbled towards the coffee machine, hoping for a caffeine boost.
Come on, Sabir, his mom said with a playful nudge. It's a brand new day. Time to seize it. Sabir mumbled something about wanting to seize his pillow instead.
His mom just laughed. She had tried everything to get him out of bed on time. Loud music, cold water, even hiding his phone. Nothing seemed to work. He was a champion sleeper, a master of the snooze button.
Just eat your breakfast, she said, placing a plate of steaming parathas in front of him. You'll need your energy for your first day at varsity.
Varsity was a whole new world. After years in the familiar comfort of school, Sabir felt like a small fish in a giant, intimidating pond. He wandered through the crowded hallways, trying to find his classroom. He bumped into someone, sending books flying.
Oh, sorry, he stammered, bending down to pick them up.
Watch it, newbie, the other boy grumbled, pushing past him. Sabir sighed. This wasn't going so well. He finally found his classroom and slipped into a seat at the back, hoping to blend in. The professor was a whirlwind of energy, talking about equations and formulas that made Sabir's head spin. He glanced around the room. Everyone else seemed to be following along perfectly. He was in over his head. He sighed, wishing he was back in his cozy bed. During break, Sabir found himself standing alone, nursing a lukewarm cup of coffee. He watched as groups of students chatted and laughed together. He felt a pang of loneliness. Suddenly, he heard a loud crash. He turned to see a girl sprawled on the floor, surrounded by a mountain of books. She had tripped over her own feet, sending everything flying. A group of students nearby laughed. Sabir felt a surge of sympathy. He knew exactly how it felt to be the clumsy one, the outsider. He walked over to the girl and offered her a hand.
Need some help? He asked.
She looked up at him, her cheeks flushed.
Oh, thanks, she mumbled, taking his hand. I'm such a klutz. He smiled. Don't worry, it happens to the best of us, he said, handing her a book. I'm Sabir, by the way. I'm Anya, she replied, a small smile spreading across her face.
And with that clumsy encounter, a friendship began to blossom. Section 5. The mysterious girl with the sparkling eyes. Anya was a whirlwind of energy and laughter. She had a knack for finding humor in the most unexpected places. She was also incredibly intelligent, effortlessly grasping the complex concepts that left Sabir baffled. He found himself drawn to her. He loved the way her eyes sparkled when she laughed, the way she always had a kind word for everyone. She was like a breath of fresh air, chasing away the awkwardness he often felt. They started spending more and more time together, studying, eating lunch, and exploring the sprawling varsity campus. Sabir found himself looking forward to their encounters, his heart skipping a beat whenever he saw her. He couldn't quite explain it, but he felt different around Anya. He felt lighter, happier. He pushed the thought away. It was too soon for all that. They were just friends, right? Section 6. A splash of grape juice and a dash of embarrassment. One afternoon, Sabir was walking with Anya across the crowded cafeteria, balancing a tray laden with food. He was telling her a funny story about his dog, completely engrossed in his tale. He didn't see the group of students horsing around until it was too late. One of them bumped into him, sending his tray flying. Time seemed to slow down. Sabir watched in horror as a wave of grape juice cascaded through the air, heading straight towards Anya. Splat! Anya was drenched in purple juice. Her eyes widened in shock. The cafeteria erupted in laughter. Sabir wanted to disappear. He'd never felt so embarrassed in his life. He stammered an apology, his cheeks burning. Anya just stood there for a moment, juice dripping from her hair. Then a slow smile spread across her face. And then she started to laugh. Section 7. Unexpected kindness. Anya's laughter was contagious. Soon, Sabir was laughing too, albeit a little hysterically. The tension dissipated, replaced by a wave of relief. "Don't worry about it," Anya said, wiping juice from her face. "It could happen to anyone." To Sabir's surprise, she didn't seem angry at all. In fact, she found the whole situation hilarious. They spent the rest of the afternoon cleaning up the mess and teasing each other about the grape juice incident. Sabir was amazed by Anya's easygoing nature and her ability to find humor even in the most mortifying situations. Later that day, as they were walking home, Anya turned to him with a mischievous glint in her eye. "You know," she said, "you owe me a new shirt." Sabir laughed. "I think I can manage that," he replied, his heart feeling lighter than it had in a long time. The grape juice incident, as embarrassing as it was, had brought them closer. Section 8. Budding friendship, blooming feelings. As the days turned into weeks, Sabir and Anya's friendship deepened. They spent countless hours together, sharing secrets, dreams, and laughter. Sabir found himself opening up to Anya in ways he never had with anyone else. He loved her quick wit, her infectious laugh, and her kind heart. He loved the way she made him feel seen, understood. He loved the way his heart skipped a beat whenever she smiled at him. He knew he had developed feelings for her, feelings that went beyond friendship. He wasn't sure if she felt the same way, but he couldn't deny the flutter in his stomach whenever their hands brushed accidentally, the way his gaze lingered on her a little too long. He decided to take a chance. Section 9. Laughter, lessons, and looking ahead. One evening, as they were walking home from the library, Sabir worked up the courage to tell Anya how he felt. He stumbled over his words, his heart pounding in his chest. To his relief, Anya didn't laugh. She listened patiently, her eyes filled with warmth. When he was finished, she smiled. "Sabir," she said softly, "you're one of the most amazing people I know. You're funny, kind, and incredibly brave for telling me how you feel." She paused, taking a deep breath. "I really like you too, Sabir. But I think it's too soon for anything more than friendship right now." A wave of disappointment washed over Sabir, but he quickly pushed it aside. He respected Anya's honesty, and deep down, he knew she was right. They were still getting to know each other. "I understand," he said, trying to sound casual. "And I'm glad we're friends." Anya smiled. "Me too, Sabir. Me too." As they continued their walk, Sabir couldn't help but feel a sense of hope. He had faced his fear and expressed his feelings, and even though things weren't exactly how he imagined, he knew that he had found something special in Anya, a friendship that had the potential to blossom into something more. Section 10. The alarm clock strikes again. The next morning, the familiar sound of the alarm clock pierced through Sabir's dreams. He groaned and rolled over, pulling the covers over his head. But this time, something was different. Instead of dreading the day ahead, a small smile spread across his face. He had a reason to get out of bed, to embrace the challenges and joys that awaited him. He had Anya. He had friendship. And who knew what the future held? He threw back the covers and jumped out of bed, ready to face the day, and the dreaded cafeteria coffee, with a newfound spring in his step. The alarm clock, for once, didn't seem so bad after all.